So, this is my WWE Royal Rumble match predictions, the 5th edition to this podcast. This is a podcast edition style to my preview video for the Royal Rumble match that will be happening this Sunday night live on pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, as always with the pre-show at 7:30 on WWE.com or wherever they're going to have it, YouTube. And this will be the final Royal Rumble event to take place on pay-per-view in quite some time, or maybe this is it. After this will be the last pay-per-view you'll be watching on TV from buying a pay-per-view from WWE, because most people, the Royal Rumble event is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and there's a little bit of a drop to Elimination Chamber, and then the biggest pay-per-view is always WrestleMania. So I think this will be the last pay-per-view for a lot of people that will be ordering it through the television. And the Royal Rumble match currently has, I believe, 20 people announced, and the participants that will be in the Royal Rumble match are Batista, obviously, CM Punk coming in at the number first entrant. That's the only secure number we have for a person. Alberto Del Rio, Biggie Langston, The Miz, R-Truth, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Goldust, Cody Rhodes, Fandango, Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Damian Sandow, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso. We don't know about Wade Barrett. We don't know about Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. We don't know if they're just going to have a singles match and if they're going to be in the Rumble or not. We don't even know Brock Lesnar or Batista. I mean, Brock Lesnar and Big Show will be in the Rumble, because they claim to have, they have a match together. Brock Lesnar claims to be the number one contender for the title. So who knows if he's in the Rumble, out of the Rumble, if Big Show's in the Rumble, out of the Rumble. And any other surprise entrants like the New Age Outlaws, a returning Sheamus, maybe Jake the Snake coming back. He was talking about a Royal Rumble return all of 2013, ever since he lost all the weight, been doing DDP yoga and got himself all cleaned up. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe even DDP could be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday night. Maybe even a returning Chris Jericho, even though he did that last year. Quite possibly. Jericho has no we can check on Fozzy, but as I know of, he has no dates booked for Fozzy. So we could have a returning Chris Jericho, maybe not number 2, quite possibly number 2 once again. Who knows? Because we don't know. Last year we didn't think Jericho was coming. Yeah, Jericho has no dates for the band Fozzy, so he's free. He's not booked, and he could quite possibly be in the Royal Rumble match for all we know. So as of right now, CM Punk will be number 1. I do think CM Punk does have a chance. I'm going to go through all the random names in here. CM Punk going in number 1 could beat every single person in the Royal Rumble, last at number 30, be the 3rd ever person to win the Royal Rumble match in the number 1 spot. Shawn Michaels was the first one. A unknown participant, which they always skip over because they always say Shawn Michaels number 1. They show a picture of him, and then they say the same number of opponents have won the number 30 spot, and they show Taker and Cena, and never show the person that the second person that won the Royal Rumble at the number 1 spot. I think his name was Chris, but I don't remember Chris Jericho ever winning the Royal Rumble, so who knows. I believe it was in 2004. It was a cover where John Cena was on the cover of the 2004 Royal Rumble. But I can't remember, because I remember WrestleMania 20, it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H, I believe, and I believe Chris Jericho quite possibly, but I don't think he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Anyways, that was a long time ago. That was 2004. That was 10 years ago that happened. So I could see CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble match, proclaiming that he started from number 1 and ended number 30, last man standing, and then goes into WrestleMania, faced whoever the champion is, which I will say will be Randy Orton, and then beat Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Or, quite possibly, Brock Lesnar beating Randy Orton at the Elimination Chamber if Randy Orton retains. And then Brock Lesnar joins the Authority. And then we got CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar 2. Man, that would be a big match on pay-per-view for WrestleMania. One of the most, some people say the best match of 2013. So why wouldn't they book a rematch if they had such good chemistry first time out? Alberto Del Rio, he's been being built to face Batista in a feud at Elimination Chamber. It seems like it because he's been calling him out, and they had that Batista bomb. So Alberto Del Rio winning the Royal Rumble, this whole storyline where if Del Rio wins the Rumble and then Batista faces Del Rio at the Elimination Chamber and beats him for his #1 contendership, like Randy Orton did to Rey Mysterio in 2006, but then that led to a triple threat match. I don't think they're gonna let Del Rio win just to him to lose. It just kind of downplays the Royal Rumble match. It's something you don't want to do because the Royal Rumble match is still so prestigious, so like just a match to watch. Even though they somewhat killed it off a bit, they've actually finally brought it back up for John Cena winning last year and then going in the actual main event of WrestleMania 29 to face the champion, beat the champion, and win the title. Big E Langston, I can see being a guy that will be like a huge guy that eliminates people. Maybe quite possibly will have a Big E Langston Roman Reigns face to face. The future of wrestling right there in one ring, but I do not see Big E Langston winning the Royal Rumble match. But he could be strong. I think he could last the final 6. The Miz doesn't see a chance. R-Truth will be a comedy person with Xavier Woods, which he doesn't have a chance. Kofi Kingston will be a spot guy, which will do something impressive once again for the. How many Royal Rumbles has he done something cool in the Royal Rumble match? The handstand, the jump. I don't know what else he did. He did the thing with the chair last year. He's done a couple other things. I know John Morrison did the jump from the barricade to the ring again. That was cool. But I think Kofi Kingston's going to find something new and something innovative to do in the Royal Rumble match to be noticed. Goldust I see just coming in, just a cool spot. He might have an altercation with Cody Rhodes. Depends if they have the tag titles or not, but every man for himself. Cody Rhodes I see as a guy coming in early and staying there for a long time. Usually he's always a guy that actually enters the Royal Rumble in the first 10. Rey Mysterio, just another guy to be in there. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. The Shield will be in the Royal Rumble match. I think they will be a unit. I think they will work together to the very end. And I think one of them will. I don't think Roman Reigns will be the guy to eliminate the Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. But I think one person will turn on the other, like Dean Ambrose. Like Roman Reigns eliminates Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose comes from behind to eliminate Roman Reigns or something like that. And just like, you're every man for himself, like we said on SmackDown. We're every man for himself in the Royal Rumble, but after the Royal Rumble, it doesn't matter anymore. We're still a unit. We're still a team. People have been saying Dean Ambrose is supposed to be booked to look strong. Who knows? Maybe he's going to do a 2001 where he eliminates like 11 people like Kane did. Or maybe he just booked really strongly in this Royal Rumble match. I could see Roman Reigns down to the final 4. And yeah, so Damian Sandow, I think he'll just be another guy in the Royal Rumble. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Maybe if Bray Wyatt's in the match, we'll finally see everyone's down or everyone's finally eliminated, and we're like a number 20 something, and then we have the Shield and the Wyatt family face to face. I could possibly see them two face to face, and then maybe even booking the Shield versus Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania. This is a match that people are willing to see at WrestleMania. I know I'd be marking out like crazy if we had the Shield versus Wyatt family matchup on pay-per-view at WrestleMania. It's a huge feud. And they could tease this at the Royal Rumble when if they actually do a 3-on-3 face-to-face in the actual Rumble match when everyone else has been eliminated or something like that. Who knows? The Usos are just going to be in there in the tag team. Then we have Batista. Batista has come back on Raw. Drew a 5.25 million rating, bumping the rating up like 17% or something crazy. This week's Raw drew a 3.5, the biggest rating since last year. I believe a bigger rating than last year's going into the Royal Rumble match. No, it beat. I think it beat WrestleMania. The post WrestleMania number, I can't remember, but it was a big number. Batista showing that he's a draw, so WWE looking at this is like, man, if we make Batista win the Royal Rumble, people are gonna watch the Raw the week after the Rumble, huge number, and then it just can continue on, and then he faces Del Rio. People will try to buy the pay-per-view for that, and then he goes on to WrestleMania. More people will likely to buy WrestleMania because people want to see Batista after the World Championship. So I quite possibly see like Batista favorite going to this Royal Rumble, and that Raw rating actually helping him win the Royal Rumble to make him the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So Batista, CM Punk, and the other third guy I see is the person that we're not really for sure in the Royal Rumble match is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan will be going up against Bray Wyatt. I see Daniel Bryan maybe possibly in the opening match, and him winning beating Bray Wyatt, and then possibly maybe even like a Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan final 2, or Daniel Bryan Batista or something like that, and Daniel Bryan just coming out and getting the win and becoming the number 1 contender and facing one member of the Authority. If it's Randy Orton as world champion, if it's Brock Lesnar as world champion, even Triple H somehow becomes world champion from now to WrestleMania, or quite possibly John Cena, a rematch of SummerSlam, John Cena versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania in the main event, of him finally winning the world title and having a long title run. And last but not least, I think quite possibly Brock Lesnar could even make a surprise entrance in this Royal Rumble. We could have that tease of Batista versus Brock Lesnar. There's a lot of stuff the Royal Rumble helps to build WrestleMania, because there are a lot of feuds that could be teased and built up using the Royal Rumble match. And if Brock Lesnar comes in, and say Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, and Batista are in the final 4, and Brock Lesnar and Batista are trying to eliminate each other, and then Daniel Bryan comes in and flips them both over, and he wins the Royal Rumble. Huge. Everyone would be going nuts. And I think we could have a feud like that built right there. Brock Lesnar versus Batista for WrestleMania 30. The Animal versus the Beast. And there's just so many different combinations, so many ways for this Royal Rumble match to take place. And there's so many title opportunities. Since it's being one, there's only one champion now. That's why I think this WrestleMania is so hard to book, and this Royal Rumble match is so hard to pick, because every year it's like, oh, this person can win the Rumble, and then another person can win a number 1 contendership at the Elimination Chamber, or whoever wins the Rumble, both titles will be defended at the Chamber, and then one of them will pick. It seemed more easier to pick the Royal Rumble winner, and then the feud that they're going to go into WrestleMania. This year, having just one title, and not knowing if that title is actually going to be defended, and since Brock Lesnar coming out saying he's the number 1 contender, and since the Elimination Chamber is in Brock Lesnar's hometown, is Brock Lesnar actually going to face the champion at Elimination Chamber? And if he is he actually going to win the title? And if that's the case, there's so many combinations of people to win the Royal Rumble. And even the match on Sunday, we don't know. There's a 50-50 chance. Like, you can flip a coin and decide who's going to win, Randy Orton or John Cena. Even though they haven't built John Cena to really go after, say, I'm going to win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, he quite possibly could go beat Randy Orton and win the world title for the 15th time. There's so many different ways and combinations for this Royal Rumble, because there's only one title. We don't know what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber, and we don't. I'll say Randy Orton's a favorite. I'll say Randy Orton's going to win at the Royal Rumble, and so Cena could come and bam, 15-time world champion, wins the title, and goes on to WrestleMania, or quite possibly drops it to Brock in a month. So the Royal Rumble match is the most unpredictable match right now. I'm going to say, as a person I want to win, is Daniel Bryan, but who WWE is going to pick to win, even though he's already won a Royal Rumble match, and the Royal Rumble match is meant to build up a star. That's why I would rather see Daniel Bryan, because he's super over. He hasn't won a Rumble, or even a guy like Punk to win the Rumble, just to add that in his resume. and there being only one championship, I could quite possibly see Daniel Bryan winning as a favorite, as like a guy that I think's gonna win. But I'm gonna say WWE's gonna pick Batista to win the Royal Rumble match. But deep down, I think Daniel Bryan, if he's in the match, will pull it off and win the Royal Rumble and go main event WrestleMania. And this is a huge WrestleMania because I think the winner of this Royal Rumble will main event and close the show of WrestleMania 30 and be like the title is the main focus of the show because there's now only one title, one champion, and that's the main event now. So that's what my thoughts on the Royal Rumble match. And what do you guys think is gonna win? And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Please like it, dislike it, tweet me how you thought of this podcast form of a preview, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. Podcast number 5, I believe. I hope you enjoyed. That is all.